Hi, everybody. Thank you for being with Radiant Health with Suzanne tonight. Nice to have you. Thank you for also, if you're watching the recording here, to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. We will be talking tonight about, of course, our favorite topic, which is the wearable technology company called Lifewave, that is all about our wearable patches. We have our signature patch here, the X39, which we all love. Everybody needs to be wearing this every day. And my special guest tonight is here next to me, and Dr. Warren Vail is back with me in my kitchen tonight, and he's going to whip up a nice dinner for me. He doesn't know that. But anyway, we've got some work we're doing together tonight, and I'm having him back because he's had some good experiences with a couple of symptom relief wearing the patches. We have a couple that we're going to talk about, and he's here going to share what he's experienced. And I said, hey, you're going to be here. We might as well go hop on at 5 and share with everybody what he's experiencing. And then when we finish with his share, going to just show this new protocol that I'm using for my headaches, and I've been using it on a regular basis, and I'm happy to say it's finally working. I've been using the patches off and on for incidental cluster headaches that I get, and I have pretty good results, but this is finally the patches that actually in the protocol that's actually stopping it as soon as I put them on. So I want to make sure for people who are headache sufferers get to see what this is about. I have a little picture of it. All right, Warren, well, why don't you go ahead and tell us your experiences and what's been going on with some of your conditions? I know you have a couple things.
Yeah,
And welcome.
thanks. Thanks, Suzanne. Well, I was first introduced to the patches by way of horses. I had a girlfriend that had a horse, and she's an osteopath here in Marin County. And her horse was getting patched occasionally, and that's where I was able to see how the horses were responding to the patches. She was a Palomino, a beautiful horse, by the way, that she had some issues and some pain spots. And I had seen the video of Lifewave where the guy runs his hand down the back of the horse's leg, and all of a sudden the horse twitches, and he puts the patch on, the horse stops twitching. And I was very impressed by that because horses, they don't have a placebo. They're not, they don't have a belief system. This is going to work or not going to work. They're just going to respond. And she responded by, seemed like she was getting less pain when we worked on her, and that was great. And then I had an issue where my knee was severely injured at a dance. Had been dancing with this woman a few nights earlier, where we did a lot of what's called contact improvisation, where there's a lot of athletic movements, and I pick people up on my shoulder and things like that. But we were at a different dance where there was no lifting, and all of a sudden she jumped on me, and my knee went all the way medially to the floor, and I heard a popping sound, and I could not put any weight on my knee. And that was very intense. And I realized that I had the patches with me and was able to put them on right away. And that was my first real experiences of giving them a real honest try. And so I was using just X39, and I put them above the knee and below the knee, right where the pain was. So I had really messed up the inner part of my knee. And the weird thing was I was supposed to move the very next day, and I have 52 stairs. So I did hire someone to help that day, and he did some of the heavy lifting with me. And I was doing like one step at a time. And by the end of the week, I was actually going up and down the stairs without uh, doing the one step at a time thing. I was actually moving up and down at an almost normal pace. I still had some pain,
Mm-hmm.
but it was very different than a knee injury I had had 3 months earlier, or I'm sorry, 3 years early that took 3 months to heal. And I felt I was back to probably at least 90% healed within 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
No swelling. I didn't have to go to the acupuncturist. With my left knee that had been injured earlier, I went to the acupuncturist. I had several acupuncture sessions. I had draining of the knee,
Oh,
swelling. It was a very different scenario. So I was very, very impressed with it.
was the injury similar or a little bit
It
more?
was a little bit different. It was more of a
Mm.
crushing kind of injury, but I've had injuries with my knees before, and I was really impressed with how fast this healed.
So you put on two X39
Yeah.
in the point of pain area that was
Mhm.
on, it sounded like it was on the outside, inside of the knee.
Inner part of the knee, yeah. So the pain was basically all across the inner knee.
Were you swollen?
Not too much.
Okay.
Again, I was able to get the patches on pretty quick.
And so you used them throughout the month.
Yeah, and not every day. Some days I was kind of sporadic.
Mm-hmm.
When I felt the pain, I'd put them on more. And definitely the first week, I was wearing them a lot.
But you were wearing the X39 already for quite a few months at that point, or had you just
Not too much, just occasionally. I wasn't a very consistent patch person yet.
wasn't? He is now.
Wasn't. I am now, yes.
Yeah.
And what I'm happy to say about being more consistent is I've seen other results that are kind of blowing me away.
Good. All right. So let's go on to the second one. Awesome. Hey, I just wanted to mention something about the horses. You work with horses now, but you haven't
Yeah.
been able to get them on the current horses because the owner's a little resistant.
Yeah,
Mm.
she's more into the medical model, but she does have acupuncturists come out and osteopaths.
Hmm.
So,
Going to work on her,
yeah,
using because
she actually has the patches and
she's
she's
using them.
just
Okay,
starting to get more consistent with them finally.
good.
She had a hip surgery just last month as well.
Oh
And
dear.
I said, you still have some of the patches, put them on.
Yeah.
So hopefully she's using them a lot more.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw her wear one the other day and was just like, all right, that's good.
Yeah, because the horses, it also helps their nervous system too, because they're high strung. They can be.
Can be.
So, okay, so you had something else now?
Yeah, and I've been
Mm.
patching consistently probably for the last 6 months more. And trying to think, I'm not as consistent as I want to be. But when I do
Until now.
patch,
Until now.
all of a sudden some changes happen in my body. They go, what else is nothing else has changed.
Mm.
Nothing, I have not changed my diet. I'm not exercising differently or anything like that. And about 2 months ago, I realized that I had prostate issues that all of a sudden were gone. So I had
Ah.
difficulty urinating, painful urination. I would get up in the night, sometimes 2 and 3 times a night.
Mm.
And there was a start and stop flow, which is really common for heart hypertrophy of
Mm.
the prostate, getting too large. And all of a sudden I realized, hey, I'm not having difficulty urinating. I'm not getting up in the middle of the night. And I was like very impressed. And again, that was the only thing that I did differently. The other
Ah.
thing is I've noticed a little bit of darker hair coming in here
Oh, that's right. He said
and,
his dark
and
hair's coming
some
in.
some it's here.
Oh my goodness. Well, that can be common for the X39. Okay. So did you have the symptom for the prostate? Was that going on for a couple of weeks? You're
Years,
saying, oh, oh,
years.
okay.
It's not something that I enjoyed at all for quite a while,
Okay. And then all of a sudden it would come and go. And now you've had a consistency of clearing for how many months?
at least 2 months, and
Hmm.
it doesn't come and go anymore. It's just not happening.
Wow.
So there's no symptoms right now that I can point to.
Yay. Well, that's awesome. I
Mhm.
like it. And Warren is also Dr. Warren. He is, and I didn't even introduce you as being a doctor of chiropractic. Shame on me. And also Warren has done another interview before. It was, I think, maybe 6 months ago, 5 months ago, you came on a
Mhm.
little bit longer. He's come on before and has another conversation he had with us, diving a little deeper as to his history. But you basically are starting to use some of the other patches now.
Mhm.
So he's had time, he's now gotten used to and consistently using the X39. And then I know that you just had and Nikki will get a kick out of this because she says if you're living with pain, you're not patching properly
Yeah.
or you're not patching. And so Warren had told me that he was having some back pain or hip pain. Oh, I told him to come here. We'll go for a hike when he comes here. And he says, "Oh, my hip's bothering me a little bit." And I said, "Well, I've got a
Two
patch for
months.
that." Oh, 2 months.
Two
I
months.
said, well, Warren, I've got a patch for that. And then I turned around and I said, and so do you. What are you not doing? And he laughed and he said, oh, you're right, Suzanne. So when did you,
I tend to get them and hoard them.
well, you know what? You're like most people, but you're also very typical for men because I have to remind my husband all the time to wear them. It's not something he goes and right to do. And I actually do it first thing in the morning. And when I don't put the patches on, it's like not wearing jewelry. I feel naked without my rings. I feel naked without my jewelry. Now I feel naked without the patches. And that's why my nickname is Patches for my husband. He's like, how many of those do you put on? And I said, it depends on what I need. And if I
Right.
need more, then I use more. If I don't, then I don't. And he just laughs. He says, "You just like spending money." And he goes, "You just love that David Schmidt more than you do me." And I said, "Well, maybe." So anyway,
Before we get into the hip,
yeah.
I had overdone it at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 67, going on 68 in June.
Hey,
Yeah. And I haven't been to the gym for probably 20 years until my girlfriend came back from Texas after she'd been working out with her bodybuilder brother that weighs 260 and his bicep is as big as my head, basically. Anyway, all of a sudden I'm in the gym again after 20 years. And of course, I overdid it a little bit the other day and I hurt my shoulder and I felt it doing some presses, some bench presses, and also some flies. And
what's that?
flies are when you're on your back and you're
Ouch. Ow.
bringing, well, I can't do it with you
How
that.
many pounds?
No, I'm
You're not gonna
not
tell.
going there, not going
It
there.
even hurts with
Not
one,
yet.
right? Okay.
But I had pain right in the shoulder capsule here, and I go, oh shoot. And I put the carnosine on it that night. And when I woke up the next morning, it was a lot better. And right now, I'm testing it, you heard a little pop there. That was my shoulder.
I did hear that.
But I have no pain. And this was something that's bothered me for like 2 days before that.
Okay. Good.
And usually a pulled muscle oftentimes takes a lot longer than that to heal. And I've pulled plenty of muscles in my day.
Mm.
And this one was also very impressive.
Okay. When did you start with the carnosine?
I only did it once,
Oh my.
just one day.
So yeah, so you have been slowly starting to use more of the patches
Yeah.
because you have been just consistent with the X39 now, which is important,
Yeah.
but with other conditions. All right. Yeah, the carnosine, Nikki we were just learning like one words of how you can describe what each patch does. And carnosine is for muscle. Eon is for inflammation, glutathione is for detoxification. And so just so that when you're sharing this with people, and I often forget how to use carnosine because it's one of my favorite patches. I love, love, love. I have a love affair with the carnosine. It is my sleep patch. I love to sleep with it. But it also helps my skin. So when I break out with anything, because it's the patch that cleared up a rash on my face that I'd had for 5 years, it cleared it up in 3 months. And I was wearing it on my head every night.
Where?
And
Like right here?
I just put the whole thing on top of my head like this. Now, there were different points that I was wearing them, and there's 5 points. But the most important thing is now, whenever I do have a breakout, I do still get skin issues, and I'll put the carnosine on my crown, which is where your pineal gland, your hypothalamus is controlled. It's kind of control central up there, and it does. I wake up the next morning, and it'll pretty much clear. I just noticed that the whatever was coming up is disappeared. So I love carnosine, but it is and it is also a really good patch for clearing. We wear them on the airplanes. I mentioned this a lot. Carnosine is one of the most viewed product reviews on the podcast, and because obviously I talk about it a lot, and it's a great one to wear for detoxification too. And so you'll want to wear it more. It's a good one for muscular stuff. I happen to have a little bit of artery issues. I've had my arteries tested to see if I've got plaque in them, and I do. I'm not as bad as most, but I'll often wear carnosine there too to relax my neck muscles because this is where my headaches start from, and they can stem up from the shoulders. And so I do wear it, and I wear it a lot for travel.
Wouldn't X49 be helpful too?
I do, and I'm wearing X39 on my neck. So this is like, 49.
Isn't it around circulation and
49 is good for cardiovascular, and it's got a lot of other benefits. I wear the 49. I don't really think about it more than just wearing it as a companion to X39 and for cardio and lung support. So that's why I wear the two together. Okay. So what else have you used a carnosine on? Anything else?
not yet. I
Okay.
might use it on my hip, but we talked
Okay.
the other night about well,
Pain.
talked about pain and not
How about
not
walking
having pain.
and walking? And
Yeah,
I said, well,
walking.
I got a patch for that. You're coming over. And then
Right.
I said, so do you. So here we
So
go.
I grabbed my
Oh,
ice wave
didn't
out.
you just get this? He had just
Yeah,
gotten
just
his
got
ice
the ice
wave
wave.
hot
So I
off the press. It
got
came in the
that
mail.
and I didn't even realize there were two different ones in there.
Oh, yes, you guys. I have to, this is funny because this is something that
I
happens.
thought they were all the same.
So Energy and Ice Wave have come with two patches. You get a tan on that you wear on the left side of the body. You have a white patch that you wear on the right, and it's for polarity. It has to do with how our bodies, you slice us down the middle and we're equal on both sides, and it has to do with meridians and balance. And I had a client once that also did the same thing. I asked her if they were using them properly. Are you putting the patches on both sides? They had an injury, and she said, "What do you mean both sides?" And I said, she was in Texas, so of course I didn't see her. I said, yeah, you've got a tan patch and you've got a white patch. And she said, oh, she was a caretaker. She said, I think his name was Bishop. She goes, I think Bishop threw those away. He thought they were bad. The brown, I was like, oh no. And so that was painful. Now, Warren, I asked him which side did he put the tan patch and which on the white. And he said, there's tan patches. How come I don't know about those? And so you open it up. Yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do a lesson tonight
Yet I get
on
trained here.
and looking, but unfortunately it's common. It's not unusual.
Mhm.
So you put on
So I put on,
your
I
hip.
put, yeah, what happened with my hip was probably in December, yeah, definitely in December. I had been doing a countertop work on heavy work with a countertop, and then I was done with the job, walked out to my car and grabbed a sawhorse with one hand
Mm.
and hurt my back on the left side. And so I had back pain. I heard a pop actually, so there's something significant happened.
Oof.
And then all of a sudden, within a week, the pain went to my hip, and the back pain went away quick, probably within a week or so, using the patches, still in the regular spots. I didn't put them down my back.
Mm.
And then the pain went to the hip and stayed there. So it's been probably a good easily 2.5 months now
Yeah.
that I've had pain. And sometimes really good days. And when I started working out with weights and doing leg workouts, I noticed maybe because of the increased blood flow, or I was supporting the muscles by exercising that way, that it was starting to get better.
Mm.
But walking would always kind of flare it up. And so when you talked about it yesterday, I said, oh, I better try the patches.
Well,
So
I called and he said he had this discomfort, and I said, well, we'll go for a walk because I've got hills around here and we're going to go get some exercise. And he said, oh, not really good with that. My hip is bothering me. And I said, what are you talking about? Your hip is bothering you. Are you patching for it? And you said, no, not really. You're still wearing the X39.
mhm.
And then I
I
said,
did put X39 on there a couple times, and I didn't see a lot of shift.
so yes, we talk about that often, that the X39 is our signature patch that activates a copper peptide, the GHKCU, that helps your dormant stem cells wake up. And what's interesting is I only had the X39 for many months in the beginning that I was using for pain. And I would find it would be because I didn't know all the other patches, didn't know how to use them, didn't have a lot of them. And so I would use the X39 for a lot of things, but it's very good for like an acute situation. It's great for acute. I've dropped stuff on my toe, broke my toe. I sliced my
When you did
finger,
that, yeah.
sliced my finger. It was perfect for all of that. But if you've got chronic pain, I notice it's not as reliable. And if you've had something for a long time, but 50% of the population, in my experience, gets a relief right away, and the other 50% does not. And it's turned a lot of people off on using the patches because they're like, well, I tried that X39, it doesn't work. And I'm like, well, that's because of, X, Y, and Z. So that's probably why you had a chronic issue, and you obviously the
So I
patches
overuse it
well,
as well.
and don't forget the X39 is doing its job, but what its job is to get in there and start healing. And sometimes the pain is the last thing that goes away. So it's helping to start to heal. It's activating it's helping support those stem cells and cellular help. But what is interesting is that we couple that with, that's why you have the ice wave on you. That's why you have energy patches. Eon helps with inflammation. You've got your arsenal so that you double them up if you need to. And so you were seeing that wasn't helping because you had more of a chronic issue.
Well, the other thing about the X39 is that as it's stimulating stem cells, in chiropractic, we talk about innate intelligence. That's the body's own wisdom that knows what to heal first. And it
Yes.
might not be that it's going for the pain or the injury that you want to heal. it's working on something that's more important for the body that we
Right.
don't even know about.
Right. His lousy eating, for instance. If you're not, if he's eating these,
I'm not
whatever
drinking
these,
much water, as you
yes,
said,
he's not staying hydrated. We had a
but I
long
am eating
discussion about
better.
that.
I have cut a lot of sweets out.
Well, I've been around him when he's got a snack that he likes to eat, and I've been teasing him about that. But in the meantime, obviously sugar causes inflammation. So when you're in a lot of pain, you do not want to be eating sugar and simple carbs because that turns to sugar in the system and aggravates it. And the other thing I wanted to mention, this is a new, hot off the press information that I just got from a doctor that is on my summit, by the way, which I need to mention that. Don't let me forget to mention my summit. That she was talking about how carbonated water, you guys, fizzy water, how dangerous it is. And I've always known that carbonated water and fizzy water is bad for, it leaches calcium out of your bones. And it can cause heart issues too, because I know somebody that in my 20s, and I'm 60 now, she was a carbonated water drinker. I don't think I ever saw her drinking water, and she was about 15 years older than me, maybe 20 years older than me. And fast forward, about 5, 10 years ago, she had to start having all kinds of she had heart surgery and AFib and all kinds of stuff. And that's all she drank. She never drank water. So carbonation, the other part of that, when you're drinking those carbonated waters, they deplete the immune system by 5 hours. So you have to remember if you're drinking those carbonated drinks that are all popular right now. I don't know if you've noticed, the cans have exploded and they're all in aluminum. They're everywhere. I didn't mean exploded, but they're explosion of these cans on the certain. So Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, sodas, all of that have finally been busted that they are causing Alzheimer's, and the sugar content and the chemical content is causing so much trouble. So, but now they've switched it out for all of these beverages that are flavored, and they put in kombucha. All these different things are all going in them to entice you to buy them. And they're in aluminum, so you're getting aluminum poisoning. But what they're doing is adding all that carbonation, and that's depleting the immune system. And you just heard it leaches calcium from your bones. Then you put the sugar in them. Most of them are all sweetened. So now your 6 hours for sugar stays in your system. So when you're out at the grocery store or you're pumping gas, you're touching things, so you're very vulnerable. And this is the message about why our immune system is so taxed right now. In that. So keep that in mind. If you're a carbonated drinker, you need to really back off. And if you've got the fizzy carbonation, the one you make at home, I understand those are a little better, but the stuff that they're putting into the drinks, they're adding to it to cause it to be more fizzy. And when you go to Europe and travel overseas, I love the fizzy waters that they give you at the restaurants because they're very mild. You can tell they're pleasant and they're not so toxic. When you come here, of course, America has to always do things bigger and better and more
I
toxic.
thought that was Texas.
Well, that's Texas too. No, never Texas. But yes, yeah, that's right. That's where I'm from. But it is interesting. So just FYI. All right.
So
So,
I don't do the carbonated water at all.
well, he doesn't even drink water. So
I do a little bit. I had a glass of
if you drink anything, I guess I'd have to say, well, you might as well drink carbonate something, but not even that. So we're going to fuel you really well here after this talk. All right. So you back to what you were saying. You pulled out. You had just gotten the ice wave. So I asked him, "Do you have any ice wave by any chance?" And he said, "Matter of fact, it just arrived." Right? You had just arrived. So we pulled the ice wave out. You put the white patch on because you didn't see the tan, and he got good results.
Well, then I added a tan, and it got even better results.
Okay. So where did you put it?
I put it on my hip. I actually put the white one down my IT band a little bit below the hip.
Now, when was that? Is that before I told you or after?
That was
You put it on there
you
first.
talked about the IT band.
So he got the ice wave out, and I said, I was told by one of our videos that we've seen on Lifewave, all of the things that we all share. There was a chiropractor who came on and said I don't even know, maybe he was an orthopedic doctor, and he basically said that if you can put SP6 patch, and we know we can use any patch, it doesn't have to be that one, but he put the SP6 patch on people's IT band anywhere along, that's the outside of your thigh, and it helped people with their knees. And so I thought, well, if it helps with your knees going down, it's got to help with my hip going up. And I do use the SP6 on my hip a lot. He didn't have it, so you tried it on your hip, on the IT band with the white patch.
Yeah.
Then I told you the other one. You went and got
the brown darker patch.
You got the darker
tan patch,
and you put
and
that.
I put it above where I have a lot of pain.
Where the pain is, because I said put the tan patch where the pain is, and put the white patch in the area, or you can put it on the IT band, which is what you did.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised that the pain went down to almost nothing pretty quickly.
Yay. I like that. Okay. And
And then
that,
I walked around a little bit later and it came back a little bit, but again, it was very mild compared to, it was like just barely perceptible compared to being like a dull ache that was there all the time.
and you had it for a couple of months. You were going around
2.5 months.
crying about it and didn't
I
call
wasn't
me.
crying.
Didn't call me. Well, I'm being facetious, but it's like you need to call. That's what I do encourage people in my team, especially if why, I'll hear from people or talk to people and they'll say they've been suffering for a while. And I'm like, what? And they even have a room full of patches. So it is important to remember to let us know, let your team know if you are watching this and you are a team lead, check in with your people and see how they're doing because chances are you'll call them and they've got some symptom they forgot how to use the patches because it is a lot, especially if you're new. And I've been at this for 5 years. So
And didn't you say someone told you that we shouldn't be in pain at all?
I think she's on with us tonight.
Nikki?
Yes, she did. Nikki said that if you have pain, you're not patching properly. And that's what I've noticed too, even when I'm going to show the headache protocol that I'm using now. It was just, I didn't find that sweet spot. So yes, thank you to Nikki for reminding us that there is no reason for being in pain, especially when you have 9 patches to use. One of them is going to work. And the other thing we want to say is that even if you know that you needed an SB6 on that thigh, outside of the thigh on your, or yeah, on your on your IT band, and you don't have it, and I don't have it, I will put on there whatever I have. I'll put on the carnosine. I'll put even a glutathione. I'll throw the X39, something in there to move that stuck energy because pain is just stuck energy. It's just you've got something there that needs to get moved out. Okay, so you did that. How are you doing now?
No pain
So
today.
he's ready to go hike Mount Tam with me.
No, we're not hiking. No, hike down the hill to
Yeah.
town and back
Okay.
up the hill.
Well, that's good. We're going to do a little bit of walking later. So that's good. Okay. So anything else?
That's pretty good for now.
All right. Well, we are
I
going to
don't usually
try.
have a lot of pain.
Well, no, that's the good news. You don't, and you've got remedies for yourself being a chiropractor that he knows how to mitigate, and you're careful at the gym now, and you just aren't, you've got yourself armed and ready. So I do want to just share before we hop off that I am a migraine sufferer. Well, it's not migraines. I'm a cluster headache sufferer. I've never gotten those before. I never even knew what they meant, but for some reason in the last 10 years, 5 to 10 years, I started experiencing, I'll get a headache one day and then it'll show up in the morning. I'll still feel a little naggy and then it'll show up again sometime during the afternoon. And the rule of thumb again from Nikki is, when you feel a headache coming on, we know she was a headache sufferer. And she says, when you can feel it. And if it's coming, pat yourself right away. Don't even question it. Well, of course I don't a lot of the times. So this last time I started using this protocol it's one that we have. I'm going to pull up the screen. Here you go. And I just want to show this happens to be a series of different headache protocols you can do for symptom relief. And I've done them all. So this top one with the Eon on the third eye between the eyebrows, you can put it down on your top of your foot. This is all with Ice Wave. And on your hand, I have it here I wear it here a lot. Is that the right hand? I wear it here a lot and it doesn't seem to help me with headache relief. So this is, I think, a lung meridian, I think, but whatever.
You can actually press that.
Yes, I have a little tool that you can put on there that actually pinches you. Doesn't work. So I've done a lot of those things over
Press
the
harder.
years. Yeah, right. I need a strong arm. And then here on the elbow. And what you're supposed to do is you walk through these stages, leave them on for 30 seconds. And they say within 15 seconds, if you don't notice it, then it's not working, move it. But I'll usually give it a 30 seconds or to a couple of minutes. And I've tried all these things, and somehow I don't know where this just popped up. Let's just say it's a new addition to our protocols. And it sounded like these could work because it's always in my neck, the back of my head, and my temples, and it's always on one side. So I started putting them below the hairline. That shows it in the hairline. I don't. I mean, I go underneath my hair as close as I can there. You can always bobby pin it in, and then on my temples. And I was doing that for a while and noticing relief, about 50%. It was some of the other protocols I was using, but it wasn't kicking it. So then I saw here on the leg, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. Now this is all with Ice Wave again, and sometimes I use Energy. They're interchangeable for me, and I will go back and forth depending on what I have in the house. And bingo. right away. So then I went and researched what is that meridian, because I have an organ issue there that's causing trouble. And it's either the kind of the meridian of the kidney and the spleen run through that. And Dr. Warren and I were talking about why is that. And the spleen is your blood purification system, and the kidneys are your purification for your filter for your urine. And so maybe not drinking enough water. Okay, we know headaches are an issue with not drinking enough water. So that goes without saying. And so it was a little dehydration. And I usually go back. David Schmidt says, the founder says, go and drink 2 glasses of water immediately after you wear any patch. Now, I don't know how many of us do that. We forget normally. Warren doesn't drink water, so he's got a new.
I'm working on getting 2 glasses a day at least.
No, we got to work on it more than that. A gallon at least. I'm gonna keep him busy with drinking after we finish here. So anyway, hydration is key for headaches. But I just wanted to share that for anybody out there who's a headache sufferer to give it a try. You can, as I said, use the energy patches, and I guess you could try some of the other patches on different points. Nikki was training us this past Monday, on if you've got, for instance, say for instance, going to put the SP6 on the IT band on the right leg that's injured, to put maybe a glutathione or another patch, anything you have on the left leg, to kind of cause a balance of the body but there's kind of that polarity again, because when you're injured on one side, you're favoring that leg and your left side takes all the burden. So there's a good chance that I think you can balance it out. I thought that was a good idea. I sometimes do that, but not always. All right. Well, unless there's anything else you want to offer.
Didn't you say you have a summit coming up?
Oh, thank you. I do. I paid him to say that. So you guys, I have the reason why I haven't been on. Yes, trust me. Show me the money. So I haven't been on as regularly this month because I am hosting a really big summit that is, with 21 speakers, and it's taken a lot to put it together and finish interviewing. And that's going to be April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And I hope that you will, if you are not familiar with me and you're watching this recording, in the show notes, I'm going to start putting on each of the videos that the summit will be coming out in a link. We don't have the link ready yet, but you could probably go to my website, or you can reach out to me with my email and say you want to be included. You can also get my ebook. If you get my eGUIDE, my free eGUIDE, you're already in my community. That's where you get into my ecosystem, and then you get notifications for everything that I'm doing. But this is going to be a powerful, powerful summit. You guys are not going to want to miss it. It's talking about all the things that RFK Jr. is talking about right now. But it's called the Secrets to Radiant Health Detox for Longevity Summit. And I'll keep you posted. And I hope that you'll be able to join me. It's really going to be amazing. And we're going to have there's lots of free gifts from all the speakers. And then we have a VIP package. So if you want to keep the interviews and watch them at your leisure, because it's going to be 3 days of action-packed. There's like 6 speakers every day. If you want to buy the program, it's only $27. But the important thing is the speakers and getting good ones for you to learn from. So anyway, thank you. I hope that you enjoyed tonight. And Dr. Warren, thank you for being here. We've got to go get some water, and we've got to go for a walk.